What's going on, everybody? Stained Glass Assassin. Well, they're at it again. The assault on redheads continues. The assault on source material continues. It says here that Warner Brothers has decided to race swap another redhead. It says that Leslie Grace is cast as Batgirl. Now, as you can see, here she is. Here's a picture and the uncanny resemblance to the source material. I was blown away how they nailed this one. Perfect. When I heard that HBO Max was going to do a Batgirl film, I was pretty pumped up because if you're like me, I grew up with the animated series. Obviously, Barbara Gordon was a big part of that. So, naturally she became a boyhood crush. But as it transitioned into the comics, Barbara Gordon was easily my favorite female character to read in the comics. So, why wouldn't I be excited about this? But I guess I can just put this on the pile of TVs and movies and comics that I simply won't watch or read, because when the foundation of a show is based on wokeism, you can only, assume that the rest of the movie it'll bleed into the rest of the movie. So I guess Warner Brothers didn't learn from the CW woke disaster that is Batwoman, the show that struggles to get 300,000+ viewership, an episode, which is pathetic. But I guess they thought they could try their hand at a movie on HBO Max, but I don't know. I see a lot of people say, well, Hollywood does this on purpose because they want to destroy the character, they want to destroy, the source material, and I don't necessarily buy that at face value. Let's face it, if these movies lose money for the companies, then the people involved in the movies are going to be out of a job. So it's not like they're doing it on purpose so that the movie will fail, because if it fails, then they fail, and then they lose their job. I think it's more along the lines, and I'm not giving them a pass, but if the showrunners for Batgirl dared to even suggest to cast someone like, Emma Stone, they'd be fired. They'd probably be out of the industry because they didn't toe the line and follow the woke agenda. So they understand that they have to follow this type of agenda to stay in the game. Again, I'm not agreeing with it, and I'm not saying it's correct. It's just that's kind of what you have to. It's, every company has rules that people don't like to follow, and you do it begrudgingly so you can keep your job. Now, I'm not saying that some of these people don't enjoy doing this, but, it's the trend right now. If you want to stay in the biz, then you'll do what we tell you. But what I truly believe, or the reason why they do this, is because this is the escape clause. If, there's no accountability anymore in Hollywood, so it's all about blaming. And it's not blaming the person who makes the movie, it's about blaming the people who don't watch the movie. So if you race swap this character and a bunch of people don't go see it and it fails, it's not because the source was bad or the movie itself was bad, but it's because of racism, sexism, xenophobia, whatever. That's the problem. Take a look at Kevin Smith's new He-Man. The man behind the curtain was revealed, and we know it's going to be a woke disaster, because that show was not made for men. It was not made for He-Man fans. It was not made for geeks. It was made for, woke social justice warriors. So ultimately, when that show fails, like She-Ra, it'll be men's fault, it'll be He-Man fans' fault, it'll be geeks' fault, because they didn't watch the show, even though this show was not made for them. It's the old, what was that woman, if you don't like my politics, don't read my book, don't buy my book. Well, they didn't buy your book, and it failed, but it was still their fault somehow. So that's what these people in Hollywood do. They use this race swap as an escape clause, so when the movie sucks, they can hide behind it's because of racism, or it's behind, sexism, or whatever. It's tiresome, and it's ruined many, many movies, because rather than just making a good, honest, close to the source material film or comic or TV show, it's essentially how can we woke the movies up and score points. I don't know. It's just become... It's sad at this point, just because every show, every book you're going to get is going to have something along the lines of these, the escape clause, if you will. And of course, a lot of people say, well, it's the best actress for the job, best actor for the job. We know that's not true, too. That's a bunch of bullcrap. Because if Channing Tatum walked into the casting office for the new Shaft and was by far the best actor for the job, there's no way in hell he would get it. There's nothing in 2021 that says that Shaft couldn't be a white guy in Harlem. There are plenty of people who live in Harlem these days, By the way, nobody can hold Shaft's jockstrap other than Richard Roundtree. Sorry, Samuel, I love you, but it's Roundtree all the way. If you haven't checked out the original Shaft, go watch that instead. But anyway, we know the whole best actor for the job is not true at all. And we know that it doesn't have to be historically based off of the source material, because look at something like the Broadway hit Hamilton. Oh, it was stunning and brave that we can swap out historical figures, but we know that the race swap, the gender swap, it's only a one-way street. It's not a two-way street. So there really is no best actor, best actress, because I'm sure many of these roles, there have been actors and actresses that walked into the building, blew the competition away, but because they didn't meet a bunch of requirements on the checklist, they simply were passed over. So yeah, I don't know. I saw this article and was just kind of bummed because, again, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, is my favorite character in the DC world when it comes to female leads. So I guess it's just another movie that I won't be able to watch or enjoy. Good job, Hollywood. And especially for you redheads out there, I know that's got to be infuriating at this point, especially because, what did I read? Obviously, Batgirl, Titania is going to be swapped. Jimmy Olsen's going to be swapped out. Red Sonja is going to be swapped out. I mean, again, Red Sonja swapped out. So either way, let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you excited for this movie still? Were you excited? Are you a member of the ginger community who is, obviously and rightfully so, getting upset with this seemingly persecution, I guess is the best way to describe it, of the redheads in Hollywood? I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. While you're there, like and subscribe so you know when the next video comes out. And until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.